Here we go. One woman, 14 men who just made their first friend in over 30 years. Let's do it! And we're back in the Dome of the Undateables. Each season, the most single people in America gather to celebrate other people finding love. And look it, we have found the Queen Karen. She rules over all the other Karens. She looks like she gives financial advice and also yells at a banker. Like she'd go into Chase Bank and be like, "You're not contributing enough to your 401k, and the line went too slow." Everyone in the Dome always looks way too excited to be at a TV taping. She made a sign. This guy here is like, "Robert, you did it. You left the house. You are a winner. Sure, you tried to talk to that person in the bathroom to make a friend, and they didn't really acknowledge you. But you got out of the house, you showered. That's a win for us." Everyone in the Dome of the Undateables has the energy of someone doing a social thing for the first time in their life. Like this woman looks like she learned how to clap 5 minutes ago. She's like, "Okay, elbows up, L formation, slap the hands together. This is what people in relationships do. You can do it. Smile and slap the fingers together. It makes a noise." Jesse welcomes us to the first Golden Bachelorette Men Tell All. The Dome of the Undateables goes wild. And look at this guy, doesn't even look like he knows where he is. That is a dad who's like, "Have we started? Has the taping begun? Which camera should I look at?" So Jesse's going to reintroduce us to all our golden friends. CK, Kooky Bob, Greg, who looks like he's been at a hotel bar for 16 hours. Christopher, who looks like he just ran an ultra marathon. Kim, who scares the crap out of us. Matthew Modine. Oh, there's Dan. Look at Dan, who always looks like he's on his last chance with the boss. He's like, "Bob, I told you I get my sales in at the end of the quarter. You got to give me a couple more weeks. I might need an extension. I got a big sale coming in. Christmas time's coming. My family is counting on me." There's Keith looking like Colonel Sanders. Jonathan with one of those... Jonathan went with an ascot. This is a crazy outfit decision. He's like, "I know what I'll do. I know how I'll stand out. I'll look like a producer of an off-Broadway play who's had it with the production." We round out the group with Pascal, Hummingbird Mark, and America's sweetheart, Charles L., and it seems as though the fame has literally gone to his head. Someone found a box of dye, and they went for it. Charles L., I love you, bud. I don't know if this was the decision. Charles L. is like, "Yeah, the Corvette's outside. The hair is jet black again. I'm ready to run a train through my DMs, baby." So Jesse informs us that they invited their children to be in the studio audience. They're like, as if this wasn't mentally scarring enough to watch you try and bone at home, we brought in your children to experience it in person. Ha! Christopher is asked what it's like to be in a house with 17 other men at this age. And he says,
"You know, when you got a bunch of men, you don't know what kind of smells are going to come out."
They're like, "Yeah, we like to fart." And then look at this guy. It's like, no one has looked like they might have just farted right when he talked about farting more than this guy. He's like, "Do they know? I'm just going to laugh it off and act like we're talking about them. Sure, you just farted. But no one's going to know. We're laughing at their farts, not yours. You didn't do anything wrong. Just be here in your jacket that's a little bit too big with your grin that's a little bit too weird." Pascal talks about Greg snoring and then brings up that he was doing his laundry the whole time.
To be very gentle with him because he was doing my laundry. So
and then they show Greg's daughters. They're like, "Yeah, that's our dad. He was doing another man's laundry." Pretty emasculating. We thought our dad was doing okay. We didn't think he needed the $10 to do a French man's laundry, but okay. Yeah, good to know. They go to Kim, the Navy captain, to ask him about the kickball game. Every time he speaks, it feels like I'm being yelled at by him, like he's my dad.
to not have the opportunity to spend time with Joan because of me not...
Joan is a lovely woman. And if you're going to smoke cigarettes, you're going to smoke the whole pack. They go to Charles L. to ask him about the kickball. The hair dye is so distracting. Look at this person's like, I like the hair dye. I like to stick out a little too. Look at me. I'm dressed as if it's Sunday brunch at a country club and my mom dressed me. So what? We can be a little different. Charles approached me in the store and he was like, I think I want to dye my hair before the men tell all. And I said, Charles, Bubala, I think you look good already. You got the salt and pepper thing going. You got a full head of hair. You don't need me. I got other people that need me way more than you. And also, I think you might want to go for a box with an Asian man on the front. I don't know. I'll do you. I'll help you. I'll help you out. But I'm just saying, check around the store. Maybe there's another box with a guy who looks like you on it. I might not be the right fit, but if you need me, I'll be there for you. They asked Jonathan if he's ever stripped before, and here's his answer.
Seriously, I've never done it professionally.
And everyone goes nuts. He's done it amateur. Look at this woman, takes it very seriously. She's like, okay, put your money where your mouth is. I'll put my money where your mouth is. And crotch. Tonight, 8 o'clock. I'll be drinking Pinot Grigio. You can drink whatever you want. Just make sure you drink a cup full of me. Dan gets asked about how emotional it was.
I'm not afraid to cry.
He says he's not afraid to cry. Look at this woman's reaction. She would literally give anything to be with him. She's like, Dan, come home with me. You can have my whole retirement account. I'll chew up the food and baby bird it into your mouth. I'll do anything, please. Get me out of the dome of the Indatables now. They go to a big montage of Charles L. and Jack checking out the mansion and just commenting on it. There's a lot of filler in this episode. Look at Jack. He has to touch the chandelier.
It's absolutely beautiful.
He's got to put his greasy hands all over everything. If this was my mom's house, she'd be like, get your hands off the chandelier. It's expensive. I don't want your fingerprints all over the crystal. That's a Chihuly. Do you know who that is? I know it sounds like I'm making this up, but the only drama this season was how to grill a burger, where Jack and CK argued about what you should do on the grill, which is like the most dad thing ever. And then they give out burgers to everyone made by Jack. Look at Joan's mom digging into that burger. I mean, has anyone fed this woman? I mean, I've never seen a woman of this age eat a burger like that in my entire life. Is she okay? Is she eating enough? Was there food at the Dome of the Undatables? Look, it's Joan's mom. Where's Joan? Joan, this woman is obviously hungry. She is digging in. Why am I attracted to Joan's mom? That's how I want a woman to eat a burger. Is she single? We get Jonathan on the hot seat. He talks about his friendship with Mark and how he used to get up and have coffee every morning. And then one morning he woke up to have his coffee and there was a note in the mug. And he's going to read the note that Mark, Hummingbird Mark, left him in the mug. Let's get a closer look at the note. So Jesse has Mark on the hot seat, and then he says his family's here, and his future son-in-law, Joey, who got engaged to his daughter at the end of The Bachelor. Why is Joey speaking for the whole family? If I'm Mark, I'm like, Joey, you've been in my family 3 minutes. Why don't you let my son and daughter talk to me? What do you mean, we? The hummingbird is a bigger part of this family than you are. I forced you to sleep in a different bed than my daughter. Why are you speaking for everyone? I was happy to help Mark through a tough time, you know. He may have put a lot of feelings onto me that maybe I don't think I deserve. You know, I wish I was a little bit more confident and felt like I deserve the love of Mark and all the other people who see me as some sort of representation of a loved one. I'm working through that in therapy, and I hope one day I can love myself as much as other people seem to love me and relate me to the biggest love in their life. So, I don't know, until then, I'm going to try and get off alcohol. I'm going to try and stop humming loudly to get attention. I'm going to do me. Charles L. is brought over to the hot seat. The dome of the undateable goes wild. Charles L. can't believe it. Jesse's like, "You're America's sweetheart. How does it feel?" It would be awesome if Charles was suddenly this different person, if he was like, "Jesse, baby doll." Yeah, the accent was fake the whole time. Since the show, I've made love with a number of women. If they're out there, please don't contact me. We are over. I am a single man. If you want to book me for any occasion, I'm on Cameo, but it's a lot of money. If you want to get through to my public appearance person, I'm with WME. You can go through my agency. If you want Chucky, you better pay the big bucks. That's what I'm saying.
Different with you.
Jesse calls him out on the hair.
I think that's due to the food I ate.
And Charles stays cute about it. He's like, "It's the food."
If it is hair, it's due to the food.
Look at Charles. If Jesse should question anyone, it's Charles's daughter. Hey, you didn't tell him this was a ridiculous decision? That dyeing your hair after going on a reality show and coming to the reunion looking 30 years younger is a big mistake socially? Come on, what are you doing? Pascal literally owns a salon. You couldn't have gone to Pascal. You had to go out of the box. What are you doing? Aren't you a helpful daughter? Charles calls out Jesse. Listen to this.
I even didn't know your name.
He didn't know your name. Look at, if I'm Jesse, I just get look at how angry he is. He's like, "You didn't know my name? I am the host of the Food Network Holiday Baking Challenge, as well as the spin-off Spring Baking Challenge. You will respect me as a broadcaster." Charles' daughter says that he is a different person, whole new confidence. They went to a wedding, and then they show a video of Charles on the dance floor at a wedding. Look at, he's going to injure this person with a hip thrust. That is a full-on hip thrust. This person probably can't walk today. I would love to see when this video cuts off and this guy's like, "Hey, Charles, why don't you calm down out there? I know you got this big new personality, but we're all trying to dance, and you got me with your hips. They're sharp as knives." This random woman yells at Charles from the Dome of the Undateables, and then she asks him out for her mom.
My mom is single.
Look, he's like, "Oh, funny. I'm not going out with your mom. I'm famous now. You think I'm going out with a loser from the Dome of the Undateables moms? No. The grandmother from Titanic is in my DMs. You think I'm going out with some peasant?" So they bring out the Gay Men's Chorus of Los Angeles to sing the song that Captain Kim wrote for all the men on The Bachelor. And look at, Kim is touched. He's like, "I might vote against all of your freedoms, but damn it, I love you guys in a non-homosexual way for singing the song that I wrote on this show." So they're singing, and look how into this song this woman is. Like, this is going to be her new ringtone. This is going on every playlist. She'll be running to this at the gym. Like, "What are you listening to?" "Oh, The Mansion Men, sang by the Gay Choir of Los Angeles, written by Captain Kim, the guy who looked like the captain from Below Deck. You know, that band." The whole Dome of the Undateables is singing and clapping together. I don't think I've ever seen a sadder display of unity in my entire life. The Dome goes nuts. They're like, "Yes, we do have a lot of love to give, just like the song says. There is hope through song." So Pascal is brought to the hot seat, signs a many. This woman wants an Eiffel Tower from Pascal. Good for her. Looks a little old for it. I don't know if she's got the flexibility, but listen, if that's what she wants, that's what she gets. I'll take an Eiffel Tower from Pascal. This is just wonderful. Let your freak flag fly. Pascal talks about how much he connected with the men, and then Pascal's son stands up and gives a speech.
We as men, we're always told that, crying is a weakness.
This is the most blatant attempt at getting laid I have ever seen in my entire life. We're told not to cry. Maxime, crying's been allowed for men for at least a decade. He's like, "Hey, everybody, I just want to say I love crying. I'm a male feminist. And I know there was an election last night, and I just want to tell you, I'm not going to say who I voted for, but I'll just say it was the one who strongly encourages the pill. So that's all I'm going to say. I love you, Dad. And I love you, women, and going down on women. Just to make sure you know that for future reference if that's needed. Finally, our Golden Bachelorette is here. Joan, my God, that dress. This is a woman in her 60s, people. The boob tape is working overtime. Joan. Just letting you know, I'm giving you all I got down here. It's going to be tough. I'm just letting you know, you might want to get off stage pretty soon. I got you, but I don't know how much longer I got in me. This is, I don't know, maybe you should have added a few more of me. This is really tough. Okay, Joan, come on. Stop talking to Jesse. You can talk to them all later. You can get their numbers later, please. Come on, Joan. I said I could help you, but I don't know. This is too much for one piece of tape. I need your help, Joan. You gotta. Joan speaks to all the men, and then she says to Charles, we're going to exchange phone numbers. He's like, well, why didn't you do it before? How come we're going to exchange now? It's been like a year since we taped, but okay, I did Facebook message you many times, so I'll be waiting for that number after we're done taping. Jonathan gives an update that he's met someone. He waited until Joan was out here. He's like, you gonna dump me? Well, you're gonna find out that I'm doing just fine. Yup, I've met someone, and that's who put me in this ascot. Yup, I'm dating an ascot woman. That's right. Not some woman with boob tape on. Nope, an ascot-loving. And that's it for the Golden Bachelorette. And that's it for me. I'll be back next week with the finale. Tell a friend, share my feed post, share a story that you liked. I'll be back. Boom.